Hello, welcome to the No Sales System. Now, in this video series, I'm going to be covering how you can set up a system which you can put on automatic. You should be able to put your system on about 98% automation, and then you use that system to drive the sales of your business. Now, over time, I have noticed that each time you mention sales and each time we talk about sales, people get very uncomfortable. People get uncomfortable because we've been conditioned to feel that sales and selling is a no-go area. We've been conditioned to believe that each time you try to sell something, that you come across as being pushy, and that sales is a taboo and it's something that you should be shy about and all of that. And because of that, you have a lot of people who shy away from things that has to do with sales. But you need to understand that there are three things when it comes to wealth building and when it comes to making money. And those three things has to do with products and services. Then, aside from products and services, it has to do with the selling of the products and services at a profitable price. And then you have the third part of the process, which is the actual selling of that profitable products and service. So let me just try to break that down and lay a foundation for what we're about to do, so that if you are one of those who believe that, I don't want to get into selling, I don't want to sell something, then you should know that you are doing yourself a disservice. Now, if you look all through history and you do a cross section of the wealthiest people in your community, the wealthiest people in your state, the wealthiest people in the country, the wealthiest people anywhere across the globe, you would notice that these three elements are always present. They have something that they sell. That something that they sell is either a product or a service. Then they have created, the things that they sell, either the products or services that they sell, are products and services that they are able to sell at a profitable price. So they have a lot of profit that they make from those products and services. And then that profit that they make from the products and services that they sell are actually products and services that you can look at it from two dimensions. So the profit can actually be a small profit, and then when they get to stage 3 of selling, doing the actual selling of the products, they now sell a lot of the products and services that they have on offer. So they sell a lot of a product and service that has little profit margin per unit, or they sell not so many of the products and service, but those products and service have a very big margin. So step 1 is that you have to have a product or a service that you sell. Step 2 is that you have to be able to sell that product and service at a profitable price. So the product and service that you are selling to the market must be something that has profits, and then the profits can either be it can be a big profit or a small profit, which now determines what you do in step 3, which is where you now do the actual selling of that product or service. So in step 3, what you are now doing is that you are now selling the products and the service that is profitable. Now, if the margin on the product or service that you sell is low, let's assume you have a product or a service that sells for you make a profit of 500 naira per unit sold. If the profit you make is 500 naira per unit sold, then for you to make a total profit of 500,000 naira, let's assume in a month, it means you have to sell 500,000 divided by 500, and I think that should be about 1,000 units. So you have to now push yourself to sell 1,000 units of that product or service in a month for you to make a profit of 500,000. If on the other hand you sell something that makes you a profit of 10,000 naira per unit sold, then you need to do, I think, just about that should be about 50 copies. If it makes you 10,000 naira and you want to do 500,000 naira in profit, then you just need to do 50 copies, because 10,000 times 50, 10,000 times 50 should give you about 500,000, if I'm correct. So you discover that the product and service should be present. It should be something that you can sell at a profitable price. And then, aside from being able to sell it at a profitable price, you should now be able to sell. The number you are able to sell will now eventually determine how much you are making from those products and services that you have on offer. Now, what we are going to be doing in the no sales system is that we are going to go through all these 3 steps, but this time around we are going to look for a way to create a system that sells our products and services without us doing the normal selling. So you don't have to chase anybody around. You don't have to shove your products down people's throats. You allow people to buy your products naturally by themselves without you having to do too much. And like I said, you want to automate as much of the process as possible. Now, that's what we're going to be covering in the no sales system, and we're going to be working on those 3 stages. You find products and services that you can sell, or you create products and services that you can sell. Number 2 is that you make sure that those products and services are products and services that are profitable. And then number 3, you now do the selling of those products and services. Now, before I go on, if you're a part of the mentorship that we started in January, you must have already gone through a lot of the steps that we are going to be covering in this video. So you don't need to go through those steps again. You just need to pick up and continue with what you started already. Now, if you are taking this course and you are new to this course, please, this is like a starter course. We're just going to be taking it from the start, and we are going to go gradually, because I am assuming that most people that will be taking this course are fresh, and they probably have not done some of these things before. So I'm going to just take it from the start. So if you are an advanced user, or you are already advanced and you are taking this video course, you have to be patient. Anywhere that you feel it's something that you already know and it's something that you have already mastered, please just skip that part and just move on to those parts that you feel touches on areas that you don't know previously. So for those who have already started this course, when we started the mentorship in January, now what we did with that mentorship, what we started with was that we were talking about, okay, you can actually package a 10 to 30 page report. So you write a small report, 10 to 30 page report, and you use that as a basis for your no sales system. And for that, I mentioned, or I gave like 8 steps that you need to go through when it comes to you creating such a material. So I'm just going to do like a small refresher, and then just a very quick refresher, and then I now start with the no sales system, and you should somewhere along the line be able to see how all these things are interwoven, and you should be able to implement something for yourself. So for that, I talked about the 8 steps that you need to go through. I said number 1, that you need to look at the market. Okay, you need to find a market that you can sell something in and sell it profitably. It does not make any sense if you create a product or service that the market does not want. It's always better when you create products and services that the market wants and the market is willing and ready to pay for. Because if you come up with something that the market is not willing or ready to pay for, you're only doing yourself a disservice. So number 1 is the market. The market is very important. You have to participate in the market that is profitable. You have to participate in the market that you can sell something to. You have to participate in the market that is ready to buy things from you. Number 2 is the title. This is for if you are writing books, for instance, or manuals or short reports, and you are using that as a basis for your no sales system. I just want to quickly cover the 8 steps before we go on, and then I show you what you need to do now, and then we move on from there. So number 3 is a cover. So if you are writing, you are packaging anything that has to do with a book, you have to look at the market, the title, the cover, then the content. The content is very, very important. This is where a lot of people compromise. Once you compromise on your content, you are affecting the longevity of your business. Because the moment the content of your business is compromised, what you have done to yourself is that you may make money in the short term, but in the long time you will lose your business. So it is very, very important that you pay attention to the content of anything you are releasing, because I'm going to be showing you a system where you need to release a lot of things to the marketplace, and you have to be very, very attentive to your content. So your content is important. The quality of your content will determine how long you last in business. So the content of your products, then if you are selling those products, you need to look at the price. So the price needs to be right. Then you need to look at the back end, you need to look at the marketing, you need to look at the follow-up. Now, all these things are things that we are going to do in the course of the no sales system. But I just want you to know that we are not ditching what we have started with, because some of you in that mentorship have already taken almost 30 days of mentorship already. So we are not ditching what we have started with. This is just like we are continuing with what we already started with, and we're going to take it up from where we stop. So just find how all these things interplay and just go ahead with what you are doing and build your business. Now, before I go on, let me let you know that one of the reasons why people fail when it comes to business, I've been coaching people for a very long time. I coach people in the area of personal finance. I coach people in the area of business startup. And one of the main reasons I see that causes people not to succeed at the enterprise that they have started or chosen, one of the main reasons is that people quit too soon. Alright, people quit too soon. They start something, they do it for 30 days, they get tired, and then they drop it. And then they start another one, they do it for 30 days, they get tired, and then they drop it. And then it becomes a cycle. Because over time, they now learn that habit. Instead of moving forward and completing those things that they started, they learn that habit. Now, this is a habit that I want you to break if you are already in that cycle for this no sales system course. Now, the reason why I want you to pay attention to it is simply because, you see, for those of you who are learning this thing for the first time, you're going to be coming up with a lot of new things. And because you're going to be coming across a lot of new things, some of those things will look to you like they are impossible until you have done them. So for instance, I'm going to be asking you to build your own website. I have videos, and manuals on that already. But for people who have not done it before, it will look as if it is impossible. It happened in January. People came and they felt they could not do it, only for them to end up doing it. And then they are like, oh, this thing is easy. And now they are even ready to explain the process to others. They are ready to teach others the process. Why? Because they did not quit. I encouraged them and they did not quit. So please understand that sometimes you will see people who will pick this thing up and under 1 month they will do something with it. Some others will have to go over and over 2 months, 3 months before they actually make something out of it. So here is a promise I want you to make to yourself, or here is a challenge I want you to give yourself. The challenge I want you to give yourself is this: you are going to try at this thing, this no sales system, for the rest of the year, and you are going to make your first $500 at least before the year ends. That's the challenge I want you to give to yourself. Why am I making it a $500 figure? The reason is simply because when we started the mentorship in January, what I did was that I set a target to myself to make without trying too hard, because I was really very busy. I have another mentorship program for people who are starting a software business, and I was really very busy with them. So I had just a very little time to commit to the system I'm about to show you. So what I did was I said, okay, I'll just give this thing like 2 hours of my time. Let me just do it for like 2 hours of my time, then probably just take 30 minutes over a period of time, and let me see what I can get. My target was $1,000, but I ended up with about $650 or so. At the end of the day, I lost some of that sale. I'm going to show you why I lost it. I'm going to show you all of that. So at the end of the day, I lost some of that sale. So it came down to around 500 and a little bit about $500 or thereabout. So if I can do 500 without trying too hard, then I'm setting that 500 as a benchmark, and I expect you to make $500 at least before the year ends. Okay, so I'm just giving you before the year ends. I expect that you'll be able to do that in a short period of time. So set that as a target and just make up your mind that you're going to make it work. Now, the advantage you have is that I am here with you. You can reach out to me when you get stuck. You can ask questions and I will answer you. If you need help, I would give help to the best of my ability so that it makes it easy for you. If I had someone to show me like this when I started, I probably would have gone faster and I would have done a lot of amazing things earlier than I did. So you have that. So don't get discouraged. Just make up your mind to do something with this course you are about to go through. Now, the next thing I want you to be aware of is, as this course progresses, I'm going to be forcing you to learn how to build or set up a website for yourself. Now, listen, it is not compulsory that you end up building sites for yourself. You may decide to hire people to do it for you. There is no crime with that. So you can hire people to build your sites. But I want you to go through the basics so that you know how it is done. I'm going to be explaining in detail why I want you to do that. But have at the back of your mind that you're going to be investing some money in building your own website if this no-sale system is going to work for you. That is one. Number two, you are going to be investing in some infrastructure. Okay, you are going to be investing in some infrastructure. I will show you what I use. I will show you how I use it. I will show you why I use it. I will show you the alternatives that are available, and then you will be left to make a decision for yourself. So have that at the back of your mind as well. Then finally, before I go into the nitty-gritty of things, because I don't want to waste too much time, but it's very important I go through all this so I don't have to go through them again. I'll just concentrate on the meat of the matter. Finally, you have to have at the back of your mind that this thing is not hard work. Okay, I'm not expecting you to quit your day job because, like I said in one of my newsletters, there is likely going to be hard times ahead because of everything that is happening around us, and it is very important that you create an alternate source of income. In fact, the rules of wealth has changed, and one of the rules of wealth now is that you must have a digital income. You must have something digital that is bringing money into your pocket. I'm not here to cover that topic today, but you need to understand that in today's world, it is very, very important that you do something online that is bringing money. So as you are having your physical source of income, you are having things that you invest your money in, you have your job, you should have an automated or a semi-automated form of digital asset, something that is bringing money for you online. And that's one of the things I want to show you today in this video. So let's get started right away. Now, I should have started recording this video earlier, but I wanted to show you things. Okay, I wanted to show you things live. So I'm going to be going into my account live to show you, to give you demonstrations. Those are the accounts that I use personally, and those are accounts that you would create. So I will try to explain how those accounts tie together, how I use them, how I combine those accounts and combine those systems together to produce results. And once you have mastered those systems and you know how to put everything together, you can just go ahead and do anything you want and create any income bracket that you want for yourself. So let's get started. Now, I talked about the 3 steps earlier. I said there are 3 steps that you need to follow when it comes to the no sales system or any business at all. If you want to make money, you want to have an extra source of income, you need to have a product or service, you need to create a system to sell that product or service. That's very important, because if you don't create a system to sell that product or service, then you are not going anywhere. Number 3 is, once you create a system to sell that product or service, it's now time to work that system. And by working that system, what I mean is that you have to put that system into practice. You have to implement that system in such a way that that system works. Because it is not enough to have a system if there's no drive to the system. So Newton's laws of motion says an object would like to remain stagnant until a force is applied to it. And when the object is in motion, it would like to continue in motion until there is a force that is greater than the force of motion to stop it. So what we are saying in essence is that if you have a system in place and you don't drive that system, you don't work at making that system work for you, then nothing would happen. That system will just be a dormant system. So you have a good system in place, you have a good product or service in place that is profitable, but there is nothing to drive it. And because there is nothing to drive it, you just end up having that system not working. So let's get started with step 1. Step 1 is, now that you want to activate a system that generates money for you, the first thing you need to work on is that you need to have a product or service. That is step 1. Okay? If you are going to make money, that's the first thing you need to do. You need to have a product or service. Now, that product or service that you need to have is not compulsorily a product or service that you create for yourself. Okay? Okay, let me just get ready to switch to the board. I'll be going to the board from time to time because I think I'm kind of like an old school person. I think when I write, it kind of make. So let me just go to the board. So we are saying that you need to have a product or service. This is the start of wealth, okay? You cannot build wealth if you don't have something to sell. So the start is a product or service. Now, the product or service that you have can now be of one of 4 types, okay? Number 1, your product or service can be digital, where you have a product or service that is digitally delivered. Number 2, the product or service that you have can be a physical product, where you are physically delivering your product or service. Number 3 now will now go to the kind of income that the product or service brings. So we have some of your products or services can be a product or service that has a one-time payment. People pay for that product or service just once. So you make your money only once, and once you make the money once, that's the end of everything. The 4th one now is a product or service that has recurring, what's the spelling of that? Write it anyhow. That has recurring payment value. Okay? So each one of all of these, and they are all interwoven anyway, Each one of all of this has its own peculiarities. Okay, now physically delivered products are usually products that have small profit margin. Okay, that's one characteristics of physically delivered products. So for instance, if you decide that what you want to sell are t-shirts, or you decide that what you want to sell is a mobile phone, okay, because it's a physically delivered product, you will discover that the margin, the profit margin on such a product will be smaller than when you opt for a digitally delivered product. Okay, digitally delivered products generally have more profit margin because they are digital in nature. Now, for those of you who have watched some of my courses, you would understand some of these things that I'm talking about. Now, a digitally delivered product has a lower overhead cost. A physically delivered product has a higher overhead cost. So you find out that in the case of physically delivered products, you would discover that you have to do cost of inventory, you have to do shipping, you have to do warehousing, you have to do deliveries, you have to do security costs, and so many things like that. Digitally delivered products generally don't have all those constraints. So a digitally delivered product, for instance, if you do a web hosting service, for instance, that's a digitally delivered product. You can decide not to have any staff and you would be fine. Okay, if you decide you want to sell software, just like my software club, that's what they are now discovering. When you decide you want to create and sell a software, once you have created the software once, you can replicate that software to 100 people and you won't need to incur additional costs. That's one of the advantages of digitally delivered products. So there are digitally delivered products and services, there are physically delivered products and services. And then number 3 is there are some products and services that have just a one-time payment. The customer pays for those products once, and after paying for those products once, they don't pay again. Okay, if you need them to pay again, you have to create another product or service and then sell it to them again. And then the 4th one are products that have recurring value. So you have, for instance, let me give a perfect example, Netflix. Okay, Netflix is a product that has recurring value. Another very good one that will come to mind immediately is your cable TV, your paid subscription TV. Every month you have to pay again. Every month you have to pay again. Your internet service, every month you have to pay again. So once you finish it, you pay again. Your data, once you finish it, you pay again. Those are products that have recurring payments. So I've been using my internet connection now for years, and every single month I pay again. This month I'm already thinking, oh, this thing is going to be due. I need to pay again, and I need to note the date so that my service doesn't just get yanked off, because it happens all the while when I forget, and then it just gets yanked off and I have to pay again. So those are products that have recurring payments, and each one of these products and services has its own peculiarities. Let me try and explain a little bit. Now, let's pick a digitally delivered product. I'm not going to be focusing on physical products for now. I'm just going to focus more on digitally delivered products. Okay, so let's pick a very good example. Now, have this at the back of your mind. There are physically delivered products, but I'm not going to be focusing on that for the no sales system. I'm going to be focusing on digitally delivered products more. All right, so let's pick a digitally delivered product like let's pick a software, for instance. So let's pick a software. Now, if you do a software and you sell that software, let's assume that it took you like it took you 6 months to build. Let's assume it took you 6 months to build the software. Let's assume that the selling price of the software is 60,000 naira. or it's even too much. Let me just pick a smaller figure. Let's assume the selling price of that software is 10,000 naira. Okay. Now, you have two models you can follow at this point. Okay. If you have a software that you built in 6 months, you have put a selling price of 10,000 naira on it, and it took you 1 million naira to develop that software. Okay, you spent 1 million naira building that software. Okay, let me just increase this a little bit to 20,000 naira here. All right. Now you have two models that you can follow for this software. Okay, model number one is a one-time payment. So, if someone comes who wants to buy your software, and as soon as they come, you charge them 20,000 naira, and you don't charge them further. So you charge them just 20,000 naira, and then you don't charge them further. Now the beauty of this is that the software that you created once can be sold to 2,000 people, and you won't need to incur any additional costs. So you can sell this software to 2,000 people and make your money. You can sell it to 5,000 people and make your money. You can sell it to any amount of people you want, and to any number of clients or customers you want, and you won't incur any additional cost because that software is built already. You just need to maintain the software. Or you can go the recurring payment model where you ask people to pay per month for the use of your software. So if they pay per month, you can decide, okay, my payment per month is 2,000 naira per month. That means each subscriber is going to pay 24,000 naira per year, 24k per year. Okay? And then you now decide how many people can I sell this software to successfully. So if you can sell it to 1,000 people and you have 1,000 subscribers, then you are looking at making 1,000 subscribers times 24,000 naira every year just by selling that software. So that's the beauty of digitally delivered products. I just need to break these things down to you because I am going somewhere. Now, the next question you want to now ask me is, are you saying that in order for me to make money, because I want to make money in the next 30 days, are you saying in the next 30 days I should go and create a software? No, I am not asking you to go create a software. I'm not saying that. Now, what I am telling you is just, I want you to just understand products and services generally, okay? I'm not asking you to go create a software. In fact, I'm not asking you to build a business. Building a business is hard. Let me be frank with you. Building a business is hard. You have to think about creating the products yourself from scratch. You have to think about packaging the products. Then you have to start thinking of marketing. You have to, if you have to hire staff, you have to start thinking of staff and all of that. That's hard work. Eventually, you will do that. I'm going to break all the steps down as I go on. Eventually, you are going to do that. But for a start, what you want to do is you want to make your first $500 as quickly as possible. You don't have time to start building a business from scratch. So what do? What you do simply is to leverage the businesses of others. So you find a business, like I said, you tend to make more money from digitally delivered products, okay? So you find a business that is already existing. That's what you do. And then you ride on that business. Now, by doing that, you shortcut things like customer support. You don't have to do customer support. You don't have to worry about business overheads. You don't have to worry about doing office. You don't have to worry about meetings. You can work in your underwear for all I care. Alright, you can work from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection and you have a PC with which to access the internet. You are in business. So you don't have to start a business from scratch, and I actually recommend that you don't start a business from scratch. I recommend that you leverage other businesses, make as much money as possible. Set yourself a target. You can set yourself a target of $3,000. I'm going to show you things now. You can set yourself a target of $3,000. You can set yourself a target of $1,000. And then once you have mastered how the no-sales system works, based on other people's businesses, you can now decide if you want to start building your own businesses from scratch. So, the reason why I covered all those things that I covered before is so that you have a basic understanding of how to pick those businesses that you work with. So we are just taking this thing gradually, so you know how to pick businesses that you can work with. Now, where do you find businesses to work with? They are everywhere. They are everywhere. But I'm not just going to send you helter skelter. I would just I'll kind of give you some examples. I don't use all those examples, but I'll give you examples. You can research them at your spare time. Then I will show you one that I know, I work with, it works for me, and then I will now base the system that I use on top of that one model. Once you understand it, you can do anything. So it's just a matter of you understanding one and knowing how to create a no-sale system for one. And once you understand one, you can do any other one by yourself. I don't like people coming back to me to ask questions. I want to teach you so that you can be independent, okay? Once I train you, I expect that you also become a resource to other people, and that means I must give you everything. So let's look at it together. Now, there are several places where you can pick products and services. Several places. There are so many of them. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to go to the screen now, and I'm going to show you several places where you can pick products and services. I'll give you like 6 examples. Then I'll pick 2 out of those 6 examples, and then we'll work on those 2 and create a system so that by tomorrow you are out there in the marketplace working on something for yourself. So I'm just going to switch to the browser, and I'm going to start showing you all those things. So let me just go to the browser and let's get started. Okay, so let's just get started. So I'm just going to go and start. Number 1, there's a site called Share a Sale. Okay, shareasale.com. Shareasale.com is one of those places where you can find products and services that you can sell. So you don't have to own that product or service. You can just find products and services that you can sell from Share a Sale. Now, I used to have an account with Share a Sale, but it's been a very, very long time. I can't really remember very well. I don't know if they take Nigerians, but you need to find that out by yourself. Now, the thing about Share a Sale is that they do more of physically delivered products. So they do more physical products. So you would see manufacturers, as soon as you get there, you see things like home and garden, you see fashion, you see grain merchants and all of that. So you see more of physically delivered products. And because they do more physically delivered products, you would find out that you would get commissions of between 5 and 20%. That's what you would get. So what you want to do is you want to find a product that you can sell to others, and then you now create a system for selling those products and services to other people. So you have Share a Sale. You do more physically delivered products, so you can review it, you can register, you can work with Share a Sale. Another one which I have not registered with, I don't know if they allow Nigerians, is MaxWeb. Okay, MaxWeb does more of digitally delivered products, and you can get commissions of 20 to 75% on MaxWeb. Okay, another one that you can look at is so this is MaxWeb. You can get very good commissions by working with them. So you can just look at it, and all you want to look at is the affiliate section. Then if you find it interesting, you can just go there and work with them. There's one called JVZoo. Okay, JVZoo is very, very popular. They do more of digitally delivered products also, and you can get very good commissions by working on JVZoo. Okay, there's another one that is called Super Affiliates. Now I have to just speed up because of time. I don't want to waste too much time on all these things. So there's another one called the Super Affiliate Network. Now the Super Affiliate Network does more of high ticket products. They do more of, okay, I think I have a wrong one. Let me see. Super Affiliate Network. Let me just do a search for it and I should get it. Yeah, the Super Affiliate Network. So the Super Affiliate Network does more of high ticket products. So if you want to go into the selling of high ticket products, then you should look at the Super Affiliate Network. So you have the Super Affiliate Network doing more of high ticket products. That's products that you might get products of like $1,000, and you might get commissions of like 30%, 40%, 50% for $1,000. That means one single sale will actually earn you like $300, $400, or $500, depending on what the product is all about. So I've shown you 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Share a Sale, MaxWeb, JVZoo, the Super Affiliate Network. Now, these are 4. The other one I'm going to be showing you is CJ. CJ is Commission Junction. It's also an affiliate network where you can find products and services that other people have, and you can just leverage on that and you can start selling. And then we have one, and that will be the 6th one, called orgmessenger.com. I'm going to explain that to you also. So I have 6 sources now that you can go to, but I'm going to close Share a Sale, I'm going to close MaxWeb, I'm going to close JVZoo, I'm going to close the Super Affiliate Network. I'm going to leave just these 2, and would work on creating a system where you can do $500 at least a month, or if you master the system very well, you can actually do $100 a day. $100 should be about 30,000 naira thereabouts every day. So you can do 100,000. You can do $500 a month, and you can decide, because your income is limitless, you can decide to push your income to $100 a day, and that will be 30,000 naira a day if you like. I would be happy if you can work on that and you just push your income up. So we have CJ.com, we have HawkMessenger.com. I'm going to close HawkMessenger.com for now, and then we are going to focus on CJ.com. Now, what is CJ.com? CJ.com is an affiliate network. Okay, an affiliate network is a place where product owners, services providers come around, and then they meet people like you and I who don't have a business. So you don't have a business of your own, you don't want to build a business of your own, you don't want to invest in building a business of your own, you go to that place, and it's a marketplace, it's a network. So you have people who have businesses, hotels, airlines, web hosting providers, retail stores, different kinds of businesses across the world. They come there, and then they are looking for people like you and I who can help them make more sales. So what they do is they already have a business infrastructure. All you need to do is help them make sales. And once you help them make sales, they give you a payment. Okay? Some of them will give you a percentage commission, some of them will give you a bonus, some of them will give you recurrent payments, depending on what they have to offer. So all you need to do is hook into that system and then get customers to make purchases of those products and services, and then you get paid. So I'm going to go into my CJ account. So if you are taking this course now, the first thing you want to do is that you want to create a CJ account. So I'm going to switch over to the screen very quickly. I already have a CJ account, so I'm just going to go into my CJ account. I'm going to log in and I'm going to show you things. So if you are not if you don't have a CJ account already, you want to go to publisher and you want to create a publisher account because you are a publisher. So what is expected of you is that they expect that you have a website. That is usually the thing. They expect that you have a website where you can display the products and services. So what they are expecting you to do is that you are showcasing their products and services to your clients. And that is why it is important that you have a website. In fact, most of them will not approve you if you don't have a website, or if you cannot prove to them that you can legitimately market their products and services. I'm going to show you how to go around all of these things, especially with the one program that I am going to be showing you how to really work with, and then from there you can expand into other programs. So let me go back to the screen and then just show you. So this is CJ.com. You have to register as a publisher. You are not an advertiser. An advertiser is the one that has a business. A publisher is the one that has a website where it can showcase the advertiser's products and services. And then you register an account, and once you have registered an account, the next thing you want to do is you want to log into your registered account. Let me just log into my account in the background. So you want to go to login, and then you want to log into your account. So when you get to that point, you just want to do a login to your account. Let me just quickly do that in the background. Okay, so good. I'm in my CJ account right now, and once you log into your CJ account, I'm going to cover how you can set up your payments later, because CJ will pay you through your Payoneer account. I'm going to cover that later, a bit later. What I want to focus on right now is, let's pick products and services. Now, when you get into your CJ account, what you want to do is that you want to go to this advertiser section. Just go to advertisers here, where you would see a list of advertisers who want you to work with them to sell their products and services. Now, when you go to advertisers, what you want to do is that you want to pick products and services that give you good commission rates. That means you can make good money from them, and at the same time, those products and services are easy to sell. So don't go for products and services that will give you problems selling, because some products and services are more difficult than others when it comes to selling. So you want to find products and services that are easy to sell and yet have good commissions. So if it doesn't have good commissions, or it's not easy to sell, then you should try to avoid such product or such service. So you generally want to go with a product or service that is easy to sell. Let me see if that has loaded. It's still loading. My internet connection is a bit slow. That will slow us down tonight, but we just have to go with it. So you want to find a product or service that is easy to sell. Now, for me personally, what I look out for are products or services that are must-use products or services. So there are some products or services that are like choke point products or service. Let me give you an example of a choke point product or service. Okay, something that I can easily sell to you right now, something that you would be willing to pay for right now. Now, a website is a choke point product or service. So when you talk about a website, it's something that you cannot go forward with your business if you don't have. So all these things we are talking about now, you will build a website. It's compulsory for you to build a website. If you don't build a website, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. And building a website is so cheap that you would only spend like 7.5 USD per month. And if you convert at around 375 naira per dollar, let me just quickly do that on my calculator. If you convert at around 375 naira per dollar, Let me just get my calculator and just do the conversion. Just a moment, please. So if you do that at 375 naira per dollar, you are going to have 375 times 7.5. That's going to give you like let's approximately 3,000 naira per month. Okay, so with 3,000 naira per month, you can actually have a website. So it's no brainer. If you wanted to hire, or if you wanted to rent an office space, you would definitely spend more than 3,000 naira per month. So it's no brainer. This is something that you must get. Now, when you get a website, if I am recommending that service to you, I get paid a commission. So definitely you would get a website. By telling you where to get the website, I can get paid between $20 to $150. Just by telling you where to get the website. That's a service that you must use. So just follow how these things work. So a website is a service that you must use. It's an essential service. Now, because it's an essential service, you would spend $7.5 or $10 or $15 or $20 to get that essential service, and then you pay every month for that service. When you pay every month for that service, I would get paid. The moment you pay for the first month, you pay for the second month, I would get paid between $20 and $150. This is not a joke. So if I am able to get like 20 people in a month, and I can get a commission of like $50 per person, it means that in a month I would get 1,000. Yeah, I'll get $1,000 just by recommending the service. Now I'm getting somewhere. We are going somewhere with the no sales system. Let me see if the site is back up, and then we can just, oh beautiful, it's back up. So let me just go back to the desktop and let's just move on. So here I clicked on advertisers and I'm here. Now once I get here, you would see what we call status here. This is all advertisers, so you can actually browse through all advertisers that are available. And I think there are about 2,883 results right here, and you can just go through and just start looking at different advertisers that are available. So each one of them is offering something. This one is offering nutritional supplements, this one is offering home appliances, this one is offering vision, this is AC lens, this one is an outdoor affiliate for sports. This is hotel. You know, I told you you get hotels. So this is hotel. So you can actually go into the hotel business. This is hotel. This one is hotel photos. This is personal loans. Okay. And this one will give you between $5. You can see per sale will give you between $5 and $60. All right. This one is for. This one is what's this? I don't even know what this is. ASA is even there. You see ASA, you see virtual malls, apparel and clothing, 5% of sale. Like I said, physical products attract less commissions. Now, when you get here, you can search for different products. Now, I personally prefer to search for digitally delivered products. Now, pay attention to what I am explaining. It's very, very important. That's why I keep repeating and repeating and repeating. If you miss it at this point, then you are going to start a business where you have to struggle and struggle and struggle. Now, pay attention. You want to pick products that are easy to sell. Choke point products. One. Number two, you want to pick products that are digitally delivered for a start. Later, when you become adept at running and doing these things, you can go for physically delivered products. But right now, you want to pick products that are digitally delivered, because the commissions you would get, the money you can make from digitally delivered products for a little effort is far, far more than what you would get from physically delivered products. Eventually, you can decide to go for physically delivered products, but please start with digital products. They are much easier for you to work with and make money from. So let me just quickly go back. I'm just going to go back to the screen. I'm going to go back to the advertiser section, and one of the products that is very, very easy to sell, choke point products, like I told you, is what we call website hosting. So I'm just going to start with web hosting today, and we are going to use web hosting as an example all through the no sales system. Once you know how to do it, you can apply the same system to any other kind of business. So I'm just going to do here, and I'm going to search for web hosting. Let me go under keywords. I'm not going to go for the advertisers. Advertisers is when you have a particular advertiser in mind. I have some in mind already, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to go for keywords, and I'm going to do web hosting. Okay. Now, when you do a search for web hosting, you are going to see results. So we have 12 results for web hosting. These are businesses that already do web hosting. Now, when you see all of them here, you can now click on each one of them, and you can see what they are offering. Now, for web hosting, I have some experience with this. So for web hosting, anything that is saying they will give you a percentage, you should try and avoid. Don't go for any service that wants to pay you a percentage. Go for a service that will pay you a fixed amount, except when they decide that they are going to give you a percentage that will be recurring. Okay, if it's a recurring income, then that's good. It means every month when people pay, you also get paid. But if it's not going to be a recurring income, you don't want to go for them. You want to go for the one that has a fixed amount. So for this one now, this second company here, you have a fixed sale of $100. So if you send them a customer, they pay you $100 straight off. This is web hosting and servers. They are saying they will give you 300%. Okay, that may also be good. Then you have these ones are saying they will give you 0 to 80 euros. I actually work with this service, and the reason why I work with this service is that they have very cheap offerings. So if you are going to be buying your own servers later, please use my affiliate link to buy. That's how I also get that's how I get something, because either you buy through me or not, you are going to pay the same amount. So just use my affiliate link to buy. You can request my affiliate link and then use it to buy. So they will give you between 0 and 80 euros per sale. And then you have all these other services here. You have this one for $80, you have this one for $15, you have this one also for $100. Now let's look at this particular company again. So I'm just going to click on them, and when I click on them, it's going to bring out the information of the company. So the company is InterServer. So once I see the site of the company, I want to go to that website to see what they are offering. For me personally, sometimes I test out those products and services to see if what I want to start selling to others is worth selling. So they are saying that they will give you unlimited hosting for like $4 per month and all of that, blah blah blah. And then if you can get someone to use their service, they would pay you $100. Let's see the payout. So you have to read all these things carefully, especially the program terms. Okay, then you have the serviceable areas. They tell you areas where you can get customers from. So they give you areas where you can get customers from, and you can see Nigeria is a part of it. So any country where you cannot get a customer from, don't try marketing their business to that country. So let's look at the program terms, and here they now specify the terms of contract. So there's what is called a lock-in method, which is custom of 60 days. Pay attention to the lock-in method. 60-day locking method. Pay attention to the number of occurrences, which means as long as people buy, you can get unlimited sales. Then pay attention to the commission. So they will pay you $100 flat commission for every sale you make. Now, what does the custom period mean? Let me just explain that quickly. Now, if you come to my balance here, you would see that I currently have a balance of 441. I think I got paid some money maybe last month or thereabouts. These guys, Commission Junction pays every between the 17th and the 20th of the month. Today is 19th. I've been expecting that some payments will be released to me, but it has not been done. So maybe by tomorrow it will be done. If it's not done tomorrow is a Friday. If it's not done tomorrow, they won't do it on weekends. Then it means they'll do it on Monday. So when you see your balance here, if let's assume you have referred like four customers to Intersalary. If you refer them 4 customers, then you make $400. It's as simple as that. So let's assume you have referred 4 customers to them. You would see here that your balance will be $400. But it does not mean that you automatically have made $400. Now, web hosting as a service is such that this company is paying you this kind of heavy amount because the customer that you refer to them will continue to use their service for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I've used services for 5 years, 6 years before. So every month they would pay because they want their website to keep running. So every month they pay, But they are giving you a lump sum of $100 and they are saying, thank you for sending us the customer, take $100, don't come back again. So $100 is actually chicken feed. So you are sending them a customer that will be paying every month to them, and they are giving you $100. Okay? So that $100 they are giving you, they want to be sure that the customer you are going to send them is a customer that will stay on, not a customer that will pay for 1 month and then not stay on. So if a customer pays 1 month and does not continue payments, that customer is bad business because they paid you $100 already. So because of that, they have a period where they want to check if that customer will continue as a customer, and usually they give a period of 60 to 90 days. So they assume that a customer that has paid the first month, that's the first 30 days, paid the second month, that's the second 30 days, and paid the third month. The third 30 days is a customer that will likely stay on with their business. And after that 3 months period, any customer that you refer that did not pay first, second, third months, they won't pay you a commission for that customer. Those customers that pay first, second, third months, you are paid a commission for that customer. And that was what I was saying earlier when I said I lost some sales. So obviously I referred people who paid only the first month and did not continue payment. And because they did not continue payment, that commission that I earned was pulled out of my account, and I cannot claim those commissions because after the referral period, they did not stay on as paying customers. So we need to pay attention to that. Now, if you look here under my balance, you can just go to balance detail. Now, when you look at the balance detail, you now get a clearer picture of what I am saying. So when you make a sale, that sale will show up in your account, but you cannot collect that money until after the locking period is over. So if the locking period is if locking period is 30 days, you have to wait 30 days, and after 30 days a review will be done, and once that review is done, a decision will be made if you qualify to claim the money and be paid or not. So it's important that you understand that. Now, while that is going, let me just give you another example so that you can see how powerful these things are. You don't need to start a business from scratch. just attach to something that is already existing and you make money. Now there's a service also called HostGator. HostGator is not on Commission Junction. HostGator is on another affiliate network called Impact Radius. Okay, so I used to work with HostGator before, but I stopped. I will tell you why I stopped later, because it's very, very important that I explain all these things to you step by step. I'll tell you why I stopped later, and I will explain to you why I made that personal decision to forego the big money and settle for small money. Okay, so I'll tell you that later. But that does not mean you should follow my route and say because I did it like that, you should also do it like that. Of course, you are free to follow your path. Now, when you get to hostgator.com, when you just go to their affiliate, you see something very, very interesting. Now, HostGator and InterServer are offering the same service, the same business, web hosting. Please, if you don't understand web hosting, don't worry. I have some videos that I have done on all of these things, and I have some steps that I would ask you to follow. Just write to me and I'll give you all those steps. Now, when you go, this thing is all about doing. When you go through these steps, you will understand everything. So just please follow these videos. Then take the steps. I want you to build a website. Take the steps that I will show you. When you go through those steps, everything will become crystal clear. So let me just go back and just explain. Now, if you come to HostGator, like I was saying, and you go to the affiliate section of HostGator, here's where I want you to see. There should be a place where they talk about their commissions. Now, look at it. If you refer 5 people to HostGator every month, or in any month, let's assume this month, you send them 1 to 5. So if you send them 1 customer, they will pay you $65 per person you send. If you send them 6 customers to 10 customers, they will pay you $75. If you send them 11 to 20 customers, they will pay you $100. If you send them 21 customers, they will pay you $125 per customers you send. And that means you are going to earn $2,625 for that month. So these things are all available all around you. But the problem is that anything you don't know, you don't know. Let me go back to Commission Junction and just explain what I was talking about locking period. Now, when you look at my Commission Junction account, you see $441 here. That's how much I have earned. But it does not mean I will eventually be able to claim all these 441. At the point, I think I have close to 700 or thereabouts from my calculation. But now some has been paid. Then I lost some because the owners of the accounts did not renew in the second month. So after 2 months of holding, that's 60 days, what you will now see is that you will see the commissions that have not reached 2 months, 60 days, will show here as new. Okay? The ones that have reached 60 days will show as locked. So these commissions here that is showing as locked means that I have crossed that 60-day threshold, which means the owners of the account pay the first month, they pay the second month, and then this commission is good. But it is showing as locked because Commission Junction has not been able to claim this money from the advertiser's account. So the advertiser is the company I'm working with. Once the company pays Commission Junction this $64, this money will leave this locked status here and will show under my commissions for the month. Okay, so for this month now, I have closed like 172. So this is good. It's a good commission. And then from last month, I brought forward around 53 that closed for last month. I think I got paid some last month already. So my balance that I did not get paid as at the 17th of last month is around 53. So that was brought forward for this month. And then this month, this was brought forward as 172. Now, Commission Junction has not released payment yet. So for this month now, I have a balance that is available for payments. So $226 is available for payment right now. So when they pay tomorrow, or if they don't pay tomorrow, by Monday when they pay, this amount will be released to my Payoneer account. So if you don't have a Payoneer account, just come to Payoneer and just register an account. I'm still going to log into my Payoneer account later and show you. Once this commission has been released, I will show you the commission in my Payoneer account, and then I will do a withdrawal from my Payoneer account live. I'll make sure I do a withdrawal from my Payoneer account live to my bank account, and then I'll just show you so that you see how it is done. So you have this balance here, 226, that is available for payment. If this becomes paid in time before payment is released, then I would have 226 plus 64 will be the amount that will be released to my account for the month. And then I have this $149 as pending. So that's how to look at the commission. So when you come to the advertiser section of the website and you start reviewing, have at the back of your mind that locking period, it's very, very, very important. So that's step one. I've been able to cover step one. You need to have a product or service that you will work with. Make sure that the product or service you work with has a good commission. Make sure that product or service is easy to sell. Now, before I close, let me show you another one. This is actually a service that we own. It's called Hawk Messenger, and you can actually make like between 10,000 and 20,000 naira per sale from Hawk Messenger, depending on what promotion that we have running per time. So once you come to hawkmessenger.com, you want to go to dashboard. If you don't have an account, you want to register an account. If you already have an account, you want to log into your account. So I have an account. I'm just going to log into my personal account, and I'm going to just show you around. But if you don't have an account, the first thing you want to do is that you want to register an account. Now, once you register an account, you can go to the affiliate section of hawkmessenger.com, get your affiliate link, and just continue with what I'm going to show you in the next video. Create a system, create a strategy. And once you create a strategy, you can make as much as 50,000 naira per week from Hawk Messenger alone. You can make as much as 200,000 naira per week from Hawk Messenger alone, just by recommending that service to other people. That's one service that we have, and it's a full Nigerian-based service that you can use. I'm going to show you all these steps. So what I covered in this video is simple. I covered the fact that you can get products and services all around. Okay. Now, once you find a product or service, just as I close, once you find a product or service that you want to sell, okay, let me just go back to the screen. Once you find a product or service that you want to sell, let's see, like you find a product or service that you want to sell, the next thing you want to do is that you want to go and do join program. But please, before you click to join program, be very careful. Be very careful in the sense that if you don't have a website yet, when you request to join a program, most of the advertisers will decline you. And that is one of the reasons why I said you should go for digitally delivered products. And please start with web hosting. Web hosting is so easy to sell. I can guarantee you that. You can make $3,000 per month easily. Web hosting is easy to sell. So I'm giving you a guarantee on that. And that's why I want you to start with it. So once you go for web hosting, don't click join program if you don't have a strategy in place. And then even when you have a website, if you click on join program, most of the time, the web hosting service will deny you access because they are like, the website is new, the website doesn't seem to have a lot of traffic. So why or why should we offer this person service? Now, once they deny you like that, don't be afraid, don't worry. Just look for their contact information. Let me show you how to get contact information. What you want to do is that you want to look for the contact information of that service. So for this particular service now, you can see their email. You can see this is a contact person, alex@interserver.net. So what you want to do is you want to get this contact information, and then you are going to write the person after you have been declined. You now write them that, oh, I applied for your affiliate program, but I was declined. And then you now let them know that, oh, what I do is that I run a website design outfit. Now, say I run a website design training outfit where I teach people how to design and build websites. And each time I teach them how to design and build websites, they have to buy web hosting from somewhere. So I want to send them to you. You can see. So you let them know, oh, I do training on website design, and when they want to buy website design, I want to send them to you. So once you tell them that, they will mail you back, and then they will tell you the steps you need to take to get approved. And anyone that does not that still denies you after that, just look for another service and go with that service. So I'm going to stop this video here. In the next video, I will go to stage 2. Remember, stage 1 is to find products and services, and I've shown you the basics of finding products and services. I've even given you one. Everybody watching this video can focus on that one and make $2,000 per month. I'm so sure that that will work. In the next video, we are going to now create a no sales system for that one product that we have, that one service that we have chosen. So we picked web hosting service. So in the next video, we are going to create a no sales system for that one service. And then in the next video after that, we are now going to work on pushing that system that we have created. So in the next video, we are going to talk about automating the system, creating the system, automating the system, making the system work. And then in the third video, we'll talk about how to push that video so that you can make the money you want. So if if what you get is $20 per month, $20 per sale from the web hosting service, then you're asking yourself, can I do 50 sales in a month? If you can do 50 sales in a month, you make $1,000. If what you get per sale is $100, then you're asking yourself, can I do 50 sales in a month? If you get 50 sales in a month at $100, then you make $5,000. It's as simple as that. So please, what I want you to do now is, if you don't already have a website, you can write to me. I have some videos that I've done on creating websites already. I have some manuals that I have available on creating websites. Let me give you those videos and those manuals so that you can start immediately. Okay? You don't want to waste time. Okay? Start today. Start working on it. I'll guide you. I'll be there to help you all through the process. So you start immediately. You create a website. Now, in the next video, like I said, I'll start showing you all of these things. Now, once you start building your website, I will give you some pointers on things to note, because those things are things that you are still going to use in the future. Then in the next video also, I will try and talk about, in the last video, I'll now talk about how you can collect your money and all of that. So please, what I want you to do now is start with your website, number 1. Number 2, create your own CJ account. Number 3, create a Payoneer account. These 2 accounts are the accounts that you will use to make money. So forget about crude oil prices dropping, forget about all those things, just focus. It's time to import your own money. Okay? It's time to import money. So go out there, create your Payoneer account, create your CJ account, and if you have not registered an account with Hawk Messenger, register an account with Hawk Messenger. I'll be showing you what to do with that also later. So register an account with Hawk Messenger, very, very important. You can just go to create an account for free and you register an account. Create a CDA account, create a POD account. I'll see you in the next video and we'll start looking at how to create a no-sale system that we use to push traffic, push sales, and use all of that to generate an income. Bye bye.